our resources. But it wasn't only that, because the management indices of our police department started to get better. Overtime was going down, sick leave was going down, people were being more productive. But more important than that, we got our leaders out into the streets. I started rolling around the city of Newark from the hours of 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning, confronting our police officers and challenging them. You are an agent of our democracy. So many people have given up hope on places like Newark, resigned themselves to the status quo. This is not what we are about. We need to give an electric shock to the conscience of our country and show them that the American dream is abundant and wild all over this city. And you, by what you do tonight, can make that kind of difference. I ran around the city of Newark in a car with some police officers. Two of them that are here right now. Detective Nick Rowan, I made him shave his head. Why don't you wave, Detective Nick? Yes. And these guys volunteered their nights away from their families, driving with me in the car, screaming at me, "Mayor, don't get out of the car when we do a stop." I was like, "But I'm the mayor." "Yeah, but you don't have a badge or gun, Mayor. Stay in the car." And these guys recovered 4 guns off the streets in the very first months of January of 08. We have a dog in the pool. I thought the pool, and he's skinny dipping too.
It's going to shake in a minute.
It was just going to shake in a minute. I wouldn't want to be around when that happens. There we go. Uh-oh. Oh. There he goes. Oh no. It's all fun until somebody gets shaken by the dog. And now they're coming back to the water. By the end of January and February 08, we had set a record for the longest period in our city without a murder. We took our murders down from 107 the year I was in office, now below 70. We're 33% down, 40% down on shootings, and we're still making progress. I bring this all up because I've now become convinced in this job that there's nothing we can't do when we pull together. This Democratic Party that we are all in, it should never become a party that is just about name. It's just about us and them. That's never what the Democratic Party was. I always tell people I'm an American before I'm a Democrat, and I'm a Democrat as long as we never lose our core values. We are a value-centered party. We are the party of vision, not the party of division. We are the party of we, not the party of me. We're the party of construction, not the party bent on destruction. This is what we are about. This group organized here in this backyard is really about what the history of the Democratic Party was. My grandfather told me stories about the first FDR election where they went household to household telling other African Americans to turn Lincoln's picture to the wall. We were going to support FDR. He bragged until the day he died that he was a Democrat, not because of convenience or opportunity. In fact, it was a more difficult road when he was working. But he was a Democrat because they were a party of inclusion, a party of hope, a party of ideas, a party that believed in expanding our democracy. This now is the test for all of us. It's a test for Somerset County. Will you revive the Democratic Party? Not for Democrats' sake, but will you revive it around great candidates like we have in Cecilia and Doug? Will you revive it around great ideas and offer real substantive hope to residents who are looking out for their children and for their property? Will you revive it in a way that excites more people who gave up on the system to get back in and to re-engage? Because Democrats alone cannot make change. You need all citizens and citizenry. What you are doing, I believe, is sacred duty. Look, at the founding of our nation in 1775, the first great battle of our nation, before George Washington even took over the armies, there was a man named Israel Putnam who was leading a group of freedom fighters against an assault of the British. It was on a hill called Breed's Hill. Most of us know it as Bunker Hill, where the army stood against an overwhelming force of British. What happened was that the British kept coming up the hill and they kept getting beat back time and time again, inflicting great damage upon the British, but eventually the hill was taken. The British wrote back to England and said that we won the battle, but a few more victories like this will lose the war. It was decades later that a man named Daniel Webster stood upon that hill to give a memorial to what happened. And he spoke words that are very meaningful now. He said, our democracy is not complete, but we can gather no laurels in a war for independence. Greater hands than ours have gathered them all. All we can hope for is that we will do something in our generation for which we will be remembered. In so many ways, Daniel Webster called out to all of us. How are we going to work together to do something in our day for which we will be remembered? What will our contribution be? What measure of sacrifice will we give? We will not be called to defend Bunkers Hill or storm beaches in Normandy. We will not be called to do freedom rides or to go out and register people to vote when that indeed might get us killed. What we are called in ways every day that some people might call ordinary, but if done with consistency and persistence, they add up over a lifetime to extraordinary contributions. Will we engage in something that's not asked of us, not required of us, which we're not paid to do, but will we give our efforts with our neighbors to remake our community in a better image of our collective? That is the ultimate calling. My mom would remind my brother of that every day as we were growing up, when she would read us a bedtime story or tell us a story about her ancestry or about the story of America. And if I can't end with a simple call that my mother gave to me in a poem that she taught me as a little boy that she would read to us as a bedtime story. It's a poem by an American named Langston Hughes, and she would put us in our bed and pull out something and read it. And this was the poem that she would read to us. She said, "Oh, let America be America again. The land that never has been yet, but yet must be, the land where everyone is free." Who made America? Whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand at the foundry, whose plow in the rain must make our mighty dream live again. Oh yes, I say it plain, America never was America to me, but I swear this oath, America will be. We, in the back of this beautiful home, in the greatest state in the nation, we are drinking deeply from wells of freedom that we did not dig. We lavish in a banquet table set and prepared by our ancestors. We eat the fruit of trees that we did not plant or cultivate. We now, it falls upon us to do something, some measure of service, to demonstrate that that legacy we've inherited is not taken in vain. I believe that what you are doing is not simply an election here in Somerset County. It is a contribution to the unfolding story of a state and a nation. And for that, I join with you in spirit. I may be in Essex County, but we fight in the same trench. And I wish you Godspeed. Thank you very much.
Hey guys, with friends like Mayor Booker, that pesky 1% has just become about that big, and we need to get past it. I know the mayor has to leave. I want to thank him from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank all of you. There's plenty of food and plenty of party left. But as I said, I want to thank Zachy and Zenon. I want to thank my executive committee. I want to thank all of my elected officials and all of the many candidates who are here and all of the supporters who have shown up to show your support for us. And wasn't he amazing? No more speeches unless somebody who's running locally feels like